Molly and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for watching. If you can make sure you click that subscribe button, it is really appreciated. So in this video we're going to be changing this steering wheel in my MINI F56 Challenge 210. So we're going to be changing it from this steering wheel that you see here, and we're going to show you how to change that. It should be the same in any MINI F56. This is the steering wheel that we'll be fitting, and it's exactly the same shape as the previous steering wheel. The only difference is it's a slightly different design. So let's get it unwrapped and have a look what it looks like. So as you can see, it's Alcantara suede on the sides. It's leather with red pinstripe and red stitching. The first thing we need to do is open up the bonnet so we can disconnect the battery. Then you need to grab a big flathead screwdriver and a 10mm socket, as there's 4 tabs that need to be turned by the flathead screwdriver and 2 bolts that need to be removed with the 10mm socket. You'll then need that 10mm socket again, as once you've removed the scuttle to reel the battery, you use that 10mm socket to remove the bolt for the fixing, and then use a non-conductive item like a cloth or a glove to avoid that reconnection being made. Now for the trickier part, you can use any screwdriver with a pointed end, and there's 3 separate holes in the back of the steering wheel. You need to use a pushing motion to push the spring, which we'll show you here. There's 3 springs in total. There's 2 at the side here that you need the same motion to release, and the spring sits exactly here, and then you use that motion to push the spring out the way. There's a second spring which I mentioned, which is exactly the same on the other side, and you come in from behind the steering wheel in the smaller holes behind the steering wheel, and again you push that spring there. There's also a third spring at the bottom, which is a slightly different looking design spring, which we'll show you in a second, but again you still need the motion to push and release. If you straighten the steering wheel up, then there's 2 clips still holding the airbag on, which is a yellow clip and a black clip shown here. Once you've removed both of them, I would advise putting the airbag underneath the car rather than the passenger side, just in case it does explode. It reduces the impact of the airbag. Now for this part, try and hold the steering wheel as straight as possible, but you'll need some force. So we used a 1/2 inch bar and a 16mm socket to release that bolt in the centre, and then hand screwed it once we'd released that initial force. Make sure the steering wheel is straight, make a mark on the column spline. The reason we're doing that is so when we put the steering wheel back on the new one, we can line it up with them marks that you've made on the steering wheel, so we do advise making sure you make them. Depending where you source your steering wheel from, you may have to connect the controls. So this is really easily done. So if you have a wire like this that needs connecting, you'll need a T25 screwdriver into the back of the steering wheel just here, which is the bigger hole, and all you need to do is undo that screw, take that off, then you'll be able to remove the cover by hand. You should then be able to see where that wire clips in place and be able to put that cover back on, screw it back in. Then to get the steering wheel on, just make sure it's straight, line it up with the marks that you've made, and then follow the instructions in reverse to take it off. So you need to, of course, secure the bolt in place, reattach the clips and reattach the airbag. Then of course, once you've got your steering wheel connected, make sure to reconnect your battery and do it in the opposite order to what we showed you before. To reconnect the battery, you're just following the same instructions in reverse. So again, you need your 10mm socket, and you'll still need your long flathead screwdriver. Thank you so much for watching my video. Please make sure you click that subscribe button, and please don't hesitate to share any of my videos on social media channels.